Today's a bad day. Time for throwing Patone, and Patone's on the throne, so we have to talk sports. You know the drill. This week hasn't been necessarily very busy for sports news, but it's still got enough where we need a new segment. So although it'd be hard to miss, in case you missed it, the Celtics beat the Mavericks in Game 5 of the title series, winning their record 18th NBA championship. But being a Miami Heat fan, this sucks. I'm gonna cover you because you deserve it and you won the champion. We have to do what we have to do. It's rough. Although Jason Tatum's name is everywhere in bright lights, Jaylen Brown won NBA Finals MVP, and rightfully so. Moving into something I was very excited about 2 weeks ago, the US Open has come and passed. I will play the highlight for you, even though I probably shouldn't. I don't want to get taken down by YouTube, but it's worth seeing. Rory McIlroy, with a chance to win the thing, or at least tie for first, misses a 3-foot putt as Bryson DeChambeau moves on to win the whole thing. The atmosphere gets to you, the crowd gets to you, that all gets to you. I get it, but damn, man, that's a rough way to go out. Bryson DeChambeau wins it. It feels like he's kind of man of the people now, so you got to appreciate it at least a little bit. The Birmingham Stallions, your former back-to-back USFL champions, are now back-to-back-to-back champions after shutting out the San Antonio Brahmas in the UFL championship. 25-0 they win en route to their title. We are witnessing a dynasty in full form right now in spring football. Who would have thought that sentence would come out of anybody's mouth 5 years ago? Nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something nobody ever thought would happen ever in this series. The Stanley Cup Finals is going to Game 7. Florida goes up 3-0, outscoring Edmonton 11-4. Edmonton flipped the whole thing on its head. They put up 3 unanswered wins. The series is coming back to Sunrise, Florida's home ice for Game 7, and although it feels like momentum has shifted, I feel like this is anyone's game. It's going to be a great game. You got to be excited about something like this. Game 7 will be live Monday, June 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, available on ABC with streaming on Fubo TV. Texas A&M and Tennessee are officially your matchup for the College Baseball World Series. We will have all the details for you next week, but for this week, we've got your matchup. The NBA Draft kicks off this Wednesday, June 26th, and will carry over into Thursday. Now, obviously, we don't really know what's going to happen, and a mock draft would just be an entire show in and of itself, time-wise. So like we do with all upcoming sports news, we'll keep you posted next week. We are going to take the hat back off. It needs to come off. Legendary baseball player Willie Mays has unfortunately passed away at the ripe age of 93. And I'm not here to give a eulogy, but a few words need to be said about this guy. He was a legend, one of the best to ever grace the diamond. As Babe Ruth said in The Sandlot, heroes get remembered, but legends never die. All right, we got 2 more stories that we're going to run through, but I feel like need to be mentioned. The Kansas City Chiefs organization sent in preparations for their Super Bowl rings, and they made a mistake. They put on the ring that the Miami Dolphins were the 7th seed in the playoffs, when in reality they were the 6th seed. So unfortunately for Chiefs players, that sits there. Travis Kelce says it's more exclusive now because it's messed up, but it's just the number next to a team. I don't really think it's that important, but to work your whole year for that ring and finally get it and there's something on it, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of rough for the players. And our final story, which I'm just going to breeze through, the Falcons have announced they are going to enshrine Arthur Blank and former quarterback Matt Ryan into their Ring of Honor. Congratulations, gentlemen. But that is all the sports news that we have in the bank today, and we will cover the College Baseball World Series and the NBA Draft next week when all the details are available, as per usual. But this week we are going in to talk to somebody a little fun, somebody a little exciting, a former producer of mine on a show at the University of Central Florida, Andrew Montana. This guy is hilarious. This is just okay. Banana Montana. What do you got behind you, by the way?
So those are from the 2022-23 season for UCF basketball.
Our first question of the day that I'm going to hit you with, Andrew Banana Montana.
Okay.
Or Andrew Montana who likes bananas. I don't know how to phrase that, but I'll figure it out through the show. I'll try different things. NBA Finals just wrapped up. Jason Tatum, hit a wicked speed run of copying other people's celebrations all in one night. Did he earn it, or is this guy just like a grade A stooge?
I think I'm the wrong person to ask because you see the jersey, you see the thingy, the hoodie. I'm I'm not for it. I'm not for it. He
I hear.
plagiarized it inside of sources. I saw somewhere that he went on a plagiarism world tour. I'm not for it personally because people are like, no, let him be. He just won his first championship. Like, let him be himself. He's not even being himself.
No.
Like, he's being everybody
You
else.
get everybody else.
Exactly.
I hate the Celtics. I'm a Miami Heat fan. I hate the Celtics. So that's all we're going to talk about. We're going to move on from them. So now we're going to do a new segment presented by Diet Coke. We're gonna do not actually. There's no affiliation. I just wanted to say that because I thought it was funny. There are 10 names at the top of the NFL jersey sales right now, and you have to guess them. And if you
Oh,
get it right, I don't
I'm
know.
putting my phone over here.
I'll give you something. If you don't get it right, fake fan, loser, what a poor sack, scumbag. All the names are gonna come flooding in. All right, so 10 names at top of NFL jersey sales. What do you got? Three strikes.
Three strikes. Okay. Okay, I'll go with a safe pick. I'll just say Patrick Mahomes.
All right, okay. Pat Mahomes in three.
CeeDee Lamb, please.
There's no CD Lamb on this
Dang
list.
it. Lamar Jackson.
Lamar's not on this list either, pal.
No.
You're already down two strikes. What
No.
are you doing?
Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey
Hey.
two on this list.
An offensive lineman in the top 10 jersey sales is crazy. Travis Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey.
Okay, I honestly
Taylor
should have gone
Swift.
with that
Taylor
earlier.
Swift boosted that man up this list like
Yeah.
crazy.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is number one on this
Number
list.
one?
Number one.
Micah Parsons. I'm locking it in.
He's number 9.
Number 9. Ooh, that's edgy. And then Joe Burr.
Joe Burr is number 7. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. You're missing 5, 6, 8, and 10. And you got one strike left.
I'm thinking of 49ers, but there's no one like a Mahomes that like just stands out of like marketability and whatnot. Oh, Christian. How did I forget? Can I lock in Christian?
You can. He's number 5.
Oh, thank God. Okay, Justin Jefferson.
All right.
Okay, because he just completely went over my
Are
head.
you locking that in, or are you
Yeah,
just...
yeah, I'm locking it in. I'm locking
All
it
right,
in.
that's 10.
Dang, I literally like half met him and I forgot about him.
How'd you have meet Justin Jefferson?
I didn't half meet him, but I was like the distance from myself to this laptop away from him multiple times at the NFL flag event in UCF. Okay, I'm just gonna say Brock Purdy as well.
Brock Purdy's number 8. This last one, you are inches away from completing the gauntlet here, pal. This one
So,
needs
new
to be
team.
done. It needs to be done.
Dun, 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 dun.
You gotta say it.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Next question on the list, we got batten down the hatches, raise the sails. We're going to no man's land. Are aliens real? And would they be good at sports?
Okay, first off, I'm gonna look up the definition of an alien. I don't want to get political. Okay, this says a foreigner, especially one who is not naturalized citizen of the country. Yeah, that's the political definition I was talking about.
Follow-up question. If aliens from outer space came down and the only people left on Earth were illegal immigrants, and it was like aliens versus aliens, who would win?
Can you give me a movie reference from which to like base my outer space alien?
I was thinking ET, a bunch of ETs. Okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? There's 100,000 illegal immigrants,
Okay.
and then 500,000 ETs from ET phone home, whatever, come down.
Yeah.
And they're big tubby sacks of meat, and they just walk around and point at you with their light fingers. Who's winning that fight?
Well, so what was the ratio? It was how many illegal
Five to
immigrants
1. 5 to 1.
Oh, wow. I would have to go with the ETs just for the numbers because as far as I'm concerned, ET might have been able to fly. I don't remember if he had
He
any
can't really fly, but
powers.
he can. Oh, actually, he might be able to fly. He can get in a
Yeah,
little
because they did a
bike
little
and
bike thing. Yeah.
put on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
hood, and
Yeah.
take off up into the sky.
Well, I don't think the hood had anything to do with his flying ability. But
All right.
also, okay, we're also talking about illegal immigrants relative to the US, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Any specific nationality for the immigrants?
Not necessarily. I don't judge.
Okay, so just anybody who isn't American,
Yes.
100,000 of them,
Yeah.
who crossed into American borders without documentation.
Oh, actually, let's make this interesting. Let's split it up
Okay.
25%. So 25% of them are gonna be Australian. All right,
Australian, okay.
25% of them are gonna be Eastern European.
25% of them are going to be Japanese, and 25% of them are going to be Mexican and South American.
Okay. Eastern European
Yeah.
from the Balkan states. So Nikola Jokic could be in this.
Yeah, he could be. He could be. It's essentially like a draft, like a military draft. You know, they pick the names.
Are we giving like do the Australians come with like I don't know their powers?
I mean, if they ride in on alligators, I don't think anybody's gonna stop them. But like,
No, dude, the alligators are in Florida. They're gonna ride in on wildebeest and kangaroos and whatnot. I think the Australians bring a lot of value here.
yeah, yep.
But I think it's still gonna be 500,000 ETs.
You think so?
Yeah.
The thing that I wanted to grade them on is who has more SEC championships, but like none of them are from the
That's a good
state, so
point.
none of them have
Yeah.
any SEC championship. You can't grade them on that at all. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
it's just a bad day for anyone who likes college football. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing.
Waffle House might be closed.
Waffle House. I actually don't know.
Actually, no. Honestly, I think it'd still be open. Because
That's
like the states are like intact.
yeah. That's an interesting question. Actually, would Waffle House be closed if aliens invade? Probably not.
I think of Waffle House to Florida in particular, but I guess a lot of other southern states as well, as the giraffe is to the Serengeti. Because if I'm a zebra, ostrich, antelope, wildebeest, that's about it really. I'm blanking on other Serengeti animals. But if I'm just chilling there like on my grass, on my pastures, as I do, and I see a giraffe up there like and then he starts tweaking and like zooming, everyone follows because that dude can see the lions from 5 miles away, which is how far their roars can be heard. And so same thing to Florida. If it's a Cat 5 hurricane, it's a party. If it's a Cat 4 hurricane, it's a Tuesday. If it's a Cat 3, like it's like taking a little shower. And then if it's like, anything worse than Cat 5 or whatever, then like we're kind of scared. But if Waffle House is closed, dude.
Oh, if Waffle House is closed, like you might as well just sell all your assets and go.
If 7-Eleven's closed, they call me 7-Eleven. Why is that? Because I'm always open. If it's not open, you're done.
Are you a big brain rot guy?
I love brain nourishment, dude. I keep telling Kirsten to stop reading because it's gonna rot her brain, and then I'm out here watching like Skibbity Bonkers Giat. I've Giat to Riz Up Livy done level 10 monstrosity of a Giat in Ohio, and like I'm wasting like 5 hours. I'm investing 5 hours of my day into brain nourishment. Basically, I've never felt more enlightened before.
Oh,
I forgot I had these, bro.
what is that?
I was gonna whip out a Pepsi Mango, but I got a Petit Mango.
Will you enjoy your petite mango? Have a good time, my friend.
What a wonderful.
All right, we are diving into NFL OTA news. As you know, this is technically a NFL show. We have to talk NFL news. The first one that we're going to talk about is one that's not really news. This is more so old, but people keep messing this up. And I want to, clear the air and get it straight so that everybody knows what they're saying is wrong. A lot of people, including NFL analysts, are getting this contract abysmally wrong. So I'm going to lay it on screen for you right now. Mike Evans signed a 2-year extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. Everyone is saying it's a 2-year, $41 million extension, $20.5 per year. That is incorrect. That is guaranteed money. Incentivized, it's $52, $26 per year. But he did not sign for $20 million a year. He signed for 26, and we know Mike Evans, he's going to get his incentives. We know how he plays. We need to clear the air on that because so many people want to say that it's 20.5 per year. You're talking to the biggest Bucs fan you maybe have ever met. I know this stuff. Trust me. We need to dive into something that's been rattling my brain for so long now. Trevor Lawrence signed a 5-year, $275 million extension with the Jacksonville Jaguars. $55 million average per year. That's too much money. That is way too much money for a quarterback of his caliber. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up 2 silhouettes of NFL quarterbacks with their stats next to them. Which quarterback would you rather have? Just ask yourself. You don't have to put it in the comments or whatever you want to do. Ask yourself who's the better of these two. That's Trevor Lawrence, and that's Baker Mayfield. And one of those two quarterbacks is getting paid over $20 million more than the guy next to him. In what world does that make sense? He's not worth the money he's getting. He's tied for first in the league right now for his average annual salary with Joe Burrow, the guy who took his team to the Super Bowl in his, third year? It's going to be so impossible to put a team together now because of how much we're paying our quarterbacks. All right, next story that we have, I'm going to breeze through. This one isn't necessarily a huge story, but it's worth covering. Last week we talked about Romo Dunze and Malik Neighbors, but this week we're going to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., who's started to creep into that conversation for best rookie wide receiver in OTAs. Second-year cornerback of the Arizona Cardinals, Garrett Williams, has said Marvin Harrison Jr. is everything people said he is. People already knew this guy was going to be good. He's everything people said he is. That just hits different. It hits different. Our next story of the day is another contract talk. I don't necessarily think this one needs covering, but I want to explain it because a lot of people seem to be confused as to the difference between these two, and I want to make it known. T. Higgins did not sign a one-year deal with Cincinnati. He signed his franchise tag. There is a difference, and I'll explain it to you now just in case you don't know. So here's how this works. If it was a one-year contract extension, it would play like any other contract. The franchise tag is a bit different. The franchise tag is the average of the top 5 highest paid players in that position over the last 5 years. So, in short, the 5 highest paid contracts from this year and the previous 4, 5 years worth of those averaged out, which in this case for T. Higgins is $21.8 million. Let's explain the conditions of this, the details of this tag real quick. When the bill comes due next year, there's 3 options. Option 1 is throughout that year, they managed to get a deal done. Option 2, they couldn't get anything done and they let him walk. Option 3, this is where things get interesting. They can put him on another franchise tag. The second year that you tag him, he gets paid 120% of his previous contract. So in this case, it'd be 26-ish million. Or if the new set of contracts in the next year is higher than the 5th year, they take another average. He's making 26 plus next year if they put him on another franchise tag, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, ask questions in the comments, I'll help you answer them. Teams don't really want to sign a second franchise tag. It doesn't create good rapport with their players. All of a sudden, they really want to leave. And oddly enough, this can happen a 3rd time. They can tag him a 3rd year in a row. But if they tag him a 3rd year in a row, all of a sudden it's 144% of the previous deal, or like we mentioned, the average of those top 5 for 5 years. I know people have a hard time understanding it, and I just wanted to clear the air for anyone who needed that information. Last story of the day, which we'll follow up on next week. Apparently the Russell Wilson and Justin Fields debate in Pittsburgh over who's going to be QB1 towards the end of the season is starting to get real murky. People don't really know what's going on there. A lot of people are saying Justin Fields has been one of the biggest losers of OTAs. He's had a horrible OTA. Whereas other people are saying that he should be the QB1 day 1. It's really murky. So if more news comes out, I'll cover it next week. But for now, we're just going to leave it at that and let the world speculate as they usually do. But unfortunately, that is all the stories that we have for this week on Throne Patone. That is the end of our show. Next week, like always, we'll have more news for you, more NFL OTA headlines, and of course, another guest on Phone Patone. I don't really have a signature catch line, so that's all I'm going to give you. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.